Good morning, friends. Today we will discuss about the amazing movie Gladiator 2. Gladiator 2, the long-awaited sequel to Ridley Scott's 2000 epic, carries the weight of high expectations. The original film was a cinematic masterpiece, blending historical drama, action, and emotion into a compelling narrative led by Russell Crowe's unforgettable performance as Maximus. With the sequel, Scott attempts to recapture the magic while introducing a new protagonist, Lucius, played by Paul Mescal. The result is a visually stunning, action packed spectacle that, while entertaining, struggles to reach the emotional heights of its predecessor. The film takes place years after the death of Maximus, following Lucius, the son of Lucilla and the nephew of Commodus. Now a young man, Lucius finds himself caught in the machinations of the Roman Empire, facing conquest, betrayal, and the brutal life of a gladiator. Paul Mescal delivers a strong performance, bringing depth and intensity to the character, yet his journey feels somewhat predictable. Unlike Maximus, whose arc was driven by deep personal loss and a burning quest for justice, Lucius' motivations seem less urgent. While there are moments of genuine emotional impact, they often feel forced rather than organic, as though the film is trying too hard to replicate the gravitas of the original. Visually, the film is breathtaking. Ridley Scott remains a master of world building, and his depiction of ancient Rome is once again a triumph. The cinematography captures the grandeur of the Colosseum, the dirt and sweat of the arena, and the opulence of the ruling class with stunning detail. The action sequences are brutal and thrilling, with gladiatorial combat that feels intense and immersive. The choreography is precise, the sound design visceral, and the tension palpable. Fans of the first film will appreciate the return of large scale battles and one on one duels that showcase both physicality and strategy. The use of practical effects combined with CGI enhances the realism, making the action sequences all the more gripping. However, while the film excels in spectacle, it falters in storytelling. The screenplay, though serviceable, lacks the depth and nuance that made Gladiator a timeless classic. Lucius' character arc is compelling but somewhat formulaic, following a predictable path of suffering, training, and eventual triumph. The political intrigue that was so central to the first film feels less developed here, with a narrative that leans more into action than drama. Some supporting characters, while well acted, are underutilized, with motivations that feel underexplored. Denzel Washington's role as Maximus is intriguing, offering a morally complex figure who could have been a standout, yet his character's impact feels limited compared to the weight of Proximo in the original film. The film also introduces new antagonists, Geta and Caracalla, played by Joseph Quinn and Fred Hitchinger. Their performances are solid, but their characters lack the menace and depth of Commodus, played so brilliantly by Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator. Commodus was a layered villain driven by insecurity and a desperate need for validation, making him one of the most memorable antagonists in cinema. Geta and Caracalla, by contrast, come across as more straightforward tyrants, lacking the psychological complexity that made Commodus so compelling. Their motivations are simplistic, reducing the tension that made the first film's conflict so gripping. The lack of a truly menacing antagonist diminishes some of the stakes, making certain plot developments feel less impactful than they should. Another issue is the film's pacing. While the original Gladiator balanced action, drama, and political intrigue masterfully, the sequel occasionally feels rushed in its storytelling. Some key emotional moments do not have enough time to breathe, making them feel less impactful. The film's second act, in particular, moves swiftly from one conflict to another, leaving little room for character development. This results in a narrative that, while engaging, does not resonate as deeply as it could have. Certain subplots, including Lucius' relationships and internal struggles, could have been explored further to add more emotional weight to his journey. The score, composed by Hans Zimmer, incorporates themes from the original film while introducing new compositions. The music is powerful, elevating key moments with soaring orchestral arrangements. However, the score, while excellent, does not quite reach the iconic status of the original's hauntingly beautiful soundtrack, particularly the unforgettable Now We Are Free. That song had an ethereal quality that perfectly encapsulated the tragedy and triumph of Maximus's journey. While the new score serves the film well, it lacks a similarly standout piece that lingers in the audience's mind long after the credits roll. Despite its shortcomings, Gladiator 2 is a worthy sequel in many respects. The action is thrilling, the visuals are stunning, and the performances are strong. However, it ultimately falls short of the emotional and narrative impact of its predecessor. The film succeeds as an entertaining historical epic, but does not quite capture the magic that made the original a masterpiece. Fans of the first film will likely appreciate the continuation of the story, but they may also feel that it does not fully live up to its legacy. Another aspect worth noting is the film's thematic depth or lack thereof. The first Gladiator explored themes of honor, revenge, and destiny with remarkable subtlety, making it more than just a film about gladiatorial combat. The sequel attempts to touch on similar ideas but in a more surface level manner. While Lucius' journey is compelling, it does not carry the same weighty philosophical and existential undertones that made Maximus' story so powerful. Themes of power, corruption, and resistance are present but not fully developed, which makes the overall message of the film feel less profound. One of the biggest challenges Gladiator 2 faces is its reliance on nostalgia. While it does a commendable job of paying homage to the original, there are moments where it feels as if the film is trying too hard to evoke memories of Maximus's journey rather than carving out a unique path for Lucius. The dialogue often references past events, and certain visual cues are clear nods to the first film. While this will delight longtime fans, it also highlights the film's struggle to establish its own identity. Lucius, despite a strong performance by Paul Mescal, never quite escapes the shadow of Maximus, making it difficult for the audience to invest in him as a truly new and compelling protagonist. Overall, Gladiator 2 is a visually spectacular and action-packed film that delivers on entertainment but lacks the depth and emotional weight of its predecessor. While it is a solid addition to Ridley Scott's filmography, it serves more as a high quality spectacle than a deeply moving cinematic experience. Those looking for grand battles and thrilling combat will find much to enjoy, but those hoping for a sequel that matches the depth and gravitas of Gladiator may come away somewhat disappointed. The film does enough to justify its existence and offers plenty of excitement, but it ultimately stands in the shadow of its predecessor rather than surpassing it. It is a film worth watching, but not one that will likely be remembered as a classic in the way the original Gladiator continues to be revered decades later. While fans will appreciate the return to ancient Rome, the film's lack of originality and depth may leave them yearning for the brilliance of the past rather than fully embracing the present.